Oh fuck, you messed up everything.
So guys, hello everyone, Edvin here, and we are here in a vlog? No?
Ad vlog.
A vlog, right? Well, I mean, I guess this technically counts as a vlog, but it's a special one because it is our 500 subscriber special. Woo! We reach a milestone! And now, it might not seem like much, alright? I mean, 500. How much is it? I mean, yeah, compared to like a million or 10 million. But for me, it means a lot, and I'm honestly very grateful for everyone here that supports me up to this point. Again, 500 is not a lot, but it will be more. There's gonna be more to come, and yeah, that's why I'm happy to be here to present you guys with my sub special, and that sub special gonna be my not so budget streaming setup. The thing is, this whole setup here, the reason why I say not so budget is because it's actually not cheap, I would say. It actually costs a good amount. Especially my bad boy right here, whew, this gaming rig right here, that's just crazy, basically. The budget side is on the peripheral, but more on that later. In fact, I just bought this new setup 2 months ago, and that is to replace the legendary, the one and only, the waffle maker. My community has meme on this laptop because, first of all, it looks like a waffle maker and it runs hot as hell. That this thing can actually cook waffle if it wants to. It doesn't exactly perform well, especially on a very heavy setup when I'm organizing something like a tournament, which there's a lot of things to cover and this thing just cannot perform. But still, regardless of that, regardless of its flaws, this thing is a legend. Without this thing, I wouldn't be here. This is my money maker right here, and honestly, press F to respect, guys. Press F. See you soon. Anyway, let's talk about my new cool setup! Alright, boys and girls, here we are with my setup that I'm gonna show you guys. This is gonna be a tour right here, a live tour from me that is being recorded by this beautiful cameraman. Show yourself! Whoa, look at this guy, yeah! So this guy's gonna be recording me through this whole setup tour. So yeah, let's get into it. First of all, we're gonna talk about this masterpiece right here, the ROG Strix G513 IM. It has an RTX 3060 with 6 GB of VRAM, a shit ton of VRAM that you can pretty much do whatever the hell you feel like. Alright? Like, this is the main show, but of course the main show is not gonna run without its CPU, which is an AMD Ryzen 7 4800 series. This thing runs at octa-core 2.9 GHz but can be boosted up to 4.2, which is a lot. Now, another thing, of course, the RAM, 2 times 8 GB of DDR4 RAM, which is just fast enough, you know, it's standard stuff, and it's dual channel, so it got that full 16 GB RAM for you to use in its full power. On another fact, this thing has a 512 NVMe SSD, but of course 512 GB. What can you do with that? Not much. So that's why I also have another support. It is paired with this 4TB WD Western Digital HDD. This laptop has a 3 USB 3.2 slots, 2 of them which are occupied with, if you go down here, yeah, these are USB hubs. There are 4 ports right there. This one specifically can be activated or deactivated at will. The other one cannot, which is right over there, which I put more stuff in there. So it's pretty cool. Another thing that we have here, let's see what we have. Right, I am using an Ethernet cable. That's right. For those viewers who watch my stream for like the past few weeks, I have upgraded from just a setup we bought an Ethernet, which means I have to use Wi-Fi connection, to an Ethernet. And this Ethernet, well, it has a lot to say about this thing, because this Ethernet cable goes far to from there. So basically, what I'm trying to say, yeah, this is my room. My modem right there is right outside there, which is a fiber optic, by the way, so it's not gonna affect things if there's raining or anything. That modem is gonna be connected using an Ethernet LAN cable. Connect that to outside, and then inside here we drill a hole where we basically direct this cable down, and then going there, and then going up, goes through this hole, which my table has this gap right here, super useful, and then it goes right here. This is where it is. So what you got is basically consistent 20 megabytes per second of download speed and upload speed. This thing supports DisplayPort, and it also supports HDMI port. So basically I have this DisplayPort right here, which is connected to my beautiful 24 Hz 144 Hz IPS LG monitor. And this thing, well, this thing looks like a beauty, and it's actually rather cheap for 144 Hz. And speaking of Hertz, we also need to talk about my laptop, which also have its own screen, which is a 15.6 inch 144 Hz 1080p screen. And last but not least, the HDMI is connected to the Sharp TV, which is a 32 inch 60 Hz. It's a glorified wallpaper. Yeah, it's a wallpaper for your room that is animated, and I think that's pretty cool at the very least, right? What can I say? Oh yeah, and of course, if we're talking about RGB, don't forget the beautiful RGB, but not just one. You plebs only have one RGB in the keyboard. Well, guess what? I have RGB down there as well. Yeah, how about that? Double RGB for whatever you want. You like RGB where you got 2 of them. The power of ROG. This thing is just a masterpiece. Totally not regret buying this. But hey, there's more. Now I talk about these 3 bad boys right here, but I haven't told you guys how this thing is actually set up. So as you can see here, the screen is floating. This laptop is floating. Wow, is it magic? No, it's even better. It is physics. Thanks to this, the single stand dual arm monitor stand. Damn right, it's a mouthful, but hey, it is what it is. And this thing is attached to my table right here. This what is basically a restaurant style. This is from a restaurant that my parents used to have, so I'm using these. Honestly pretty cheap, but I'm gonna talk about that later. So basically I attach it from here, which by the way I have a wood right here to reinforce it. So make sure that nothing bad happens to it, because if something bad happens, these things are gonna be broken. So what's so special about this thing? Well, first of all, it can float. But the best thing that I thought about this thing specifically, you can move these things. I mean, that's cool. But you know what's cooler? I can move this thing. Basically, I can move my monitor anywhere. And of course, here's the fun part. Yeah! Yeah, what do you think about that, huh? You can make your monitor to portrait. And yeah, so maybe if I'm a popular streamer, I can read my chat with the super long, super tall monitor right here. Or if I want to play something like SDVX, Sound Vortex, which is perfect. Or if I want to play something like Groove Coaster, which maybe I should try Groove Coaster. Imagine playing in like this. It's like playing in an arcade. You can really do a lot of things with this thing. And that is all thanks to this special thing, the hydraulic system, where unlike a conventional stand where it's gonna be fixed in one place, you can move this thing up, down, left, right, or rotate it, and it will just work. Because it is connected to this VSM mount, which is that's why I used to connect this thing. But that comes to another question. What about my laptop? How does my laptop work? How does it stand? And that is because it is a little bit more unique. If you see more clearly, you can see this thing, right? That's right, this is actually a bracket laptop, which has a VESA mount that is connected to the hydraulic. So now this thing can also move up and down and do whatever the hell it wants. It is honestly pretty cool. Only one flaw. Super flimsy. I basically need a better table. Eventually. But hey, as long as it works, it works. Let's move on. Alright, now that I already talked about this, let's talk about the budget side of things. The peripherals, which honestly there are a lot of peripherals that I just can't bother to memorize. So, I have my phone right here. Sorry, not my phone. This is the cameraman's phone. I'm just gonna read through it and then see what's up and what we have, you know. So, starting off with the mouse, Logitech G102Y. But it's not just a normal mouse. It also have a core pad mouse feed. What does that is basically improve the gliding and makes it super smooth. On top of that, I also have the Logitech G640 mousepad, which makes my mouse glide smooth like a butter. Honestly, this thing is so nice, and I mean for cheap. What more can I say? Other than the mousepad, which is not exactly that cheap, but hey. What can I say? Moving on to the keyboard, which is, here this is a mouthful, the Mecha Warrior XRGB Ice keyboard. How about that for a mouthful? Point is, what you need to know is this is a hot swappable Otemu bronze with PBT keycaps, which is a custom one that I bought from this Click Clack. Which this is where my old one, the old ABS keycap that I have. And honestly, after using it for a while, I honestly like it. ABS is more, you know, shiny and then, you know, slippery and stuff like that. Meanwhile, PBT has more of a texture, which is why I honestly enjoy it. Now, more things. The headset, which is, here's the mouthful again. DA Titan Premium Ice headset. Yeah, the things about the naming is from DA Gaming. What can I say? It has some pretty neat features like a modular mic and a detachable USB-C cable. Yeah, this thing is detachable. But other than that, it's just a budget headset, which is not bad. But I'm not using the mic because I am using this beautiful thing, the Fifine K669B condenser mic, which is attached to a boomerang and a shock mount right here. And the thing about this mic, this is the budget king right here. This thing is cheap and it works super well. I've been using this for almost a year already and I honestly have no complaints. Super good condenser mic, but probably I'm gonna upgrade this eventually when I have more money, of course. Another thing, and this is my favorite thing. I don't need to remember this. I already know everything about this. This is the Papalook PA552 Pro, which can record in a glorious 1080p 60 fps. That's right. This webcam right here has that capability, and it's a budget one. This thing is so cheap that honestly, to be able to record at such a high quality at 60 fps as well, this thing is better than most webcam that I ever used. Even Logitech ones, or even the one that ROG gave us. Right? He used it before, and honestly, it's not even worth it. That thing worth so much more. That thing worth triple on what I bought here, which is honestly crazy. So really, this thing is an absolute godsend right here. Oh, and the best thing, it has an integrated ring light. Look at that, you can turn it on, turn it on. It's just super useful. Like, what webcam has a ring light? This is one of them. Highly recommend. I totally approve of this. Just buy it. I'm probably gonna buy more of this if I'm gonna use like a dual webcam setup, right? Now, another thing. I also have, what is the most fun thing? Speakers. That's right. Over here, down here, I have a creative inspired A300 speaker system. This thing is a speaker from 2007. Yep, 2007, that you heard that right. It's actually pretty old. My dad used to own this and he gave it to me and I was like, yeah, hell yeah. I mean, this thing works like a charm. And better yet, it has a subwoofer. Yeah, you guys have speakers right there, right? Cool. Well, guess what? I have a subwoofer right here and it is the most fun thing I have. This is the fun box right here. Let me just show you guys real quick, eh? Oh boy, I have this song right here. Let's just play Gimme the Blood by Shisho. Right, volume's good, okay? You can hear the bass, right? And I'm thinking, you know, cool. But here's another cool thing. It has a bass slider. Let's turn it up. Whoa! Yeah, you hear the bass? Yeah! Feels like in the cinema, doesn't it? Okay, shit, I better turn it up before my neighbors kill me. Oh boy, yeah. Anyway, bass slider. Or a bass knob to be more exact. This thing is crazy. I mean, you gotta love speakers with subwoofers. It's just the most fun thing. And a little bit more things, which is the ring light right here. More on that later. But I mean, you know, it might look like a normal ring light, but there's more to it. Just trust me, trust me. And of course, I have this Arcitect lamp, which is a desk lamp with an arm. Yeah, that's like a boom arm on a lamp, which is honestly pretty cool. And yeah, this is a lamp right here that can power most bulbs. So I think that's pretty cool. But hey, more on that later. These things are gonna be useful for lighting. And that's gonna be important when I'm going to talk about the setup. How I actually stream with all of this. So yeah, move on to the next thing, which is okay, now that I already showed you guys my setup, let's talk about how I actually used it. Now, you guys know that I am a variety streamer. I play all kinds of games, wherever it's just a normal desktop game, or I play rhythm games, which I play either on desktop or on mobile. And of course, because of that, my setup needs to be adjusted accordingly so that you guys can see the gameplay in the best experience possible. So let's talk about the normal setup. This is the setup that I use for any kind of game. For example, let's say I'm playing The World Ends With You, which is a desktop game. Now, I am gonna show you the important bits, which is the webcam. Of course, you guys want to see my reaction. Oh. See right there, that's my reaction right there. So, in order for this to work, I don't just put my webcam there and then just do it as is. There's a lot of reason why I do things as it is. So, lighting. That's the one important thing, or at least in my opinion, the most important thing about showing a webcam. You gotta have proper lighting so that your face that you shine through will be properly adjusted. So basically, I'm sitting it right here, which I forgot to set up my webcam. First of all, webcam adjustment. So I'm gonna put my headset here. And obviously, as you can see here, this is my setup. So camera over here, this is me right here. So I'm just gonna put it like here so you can show better. I am in the center and I put my webcam in a sort of weird position. I put it right here, and you might ask, why not put it in the middle? Because there's a good reason for that. Let's say I put this on the middle. So that means I'm gonna adjust it right here. There you go. Now, if I'm over here, the angle, this webcam right here is gonna go direct to here, my face, my left side of my face. And this is what you want to look for, right? The front face. Now, it's good enough. I used this back then, but I have a thought that it's not probably that good, so I moved it a little bit to here, to a slightly off angle, but in return, my face shows more, you know? So that means when I'm playing, you guys can see more of my reaction better. And this is basically one of the things, positioning. And then for the lighting, I use two things. First of all, my webcam has a ring light, right? So I can put things on 1, 2, 3. That's the max setting. So the brightest it is, so my left side's not gonna be super dark. But the most important thing, of course, it is this light right here, this lamp, which I already explained. This lamp has this elevation which directs exactly towards me. And you might think, wow, that is a very bright lamp. But don't worry, this is a lamp where I make sure to not be as bright as it is. This is a 6-watt Philips lamp that I bought, which is actually just the bare maximum of what you can use. If you use something higher like 8 watts or 10 or 12, you're gonna die. This thing's gonna be brighter than the sun itself. So you're gonna have to adjust the lighting to make sure that the webcam, as you can see here, is perfect. You know, just the correct lighting that my face is visible and my face is the focus, not the background, my face. And that's, you know, that's all the works that I do for my webcam, and the rest is just as it is. Keyboard over here, mouse over here, and then of course I am using my controller right here, a simple DS4 control, DualShock 4. I don't have a PS4, but I use this for my gaming session using DS4 Windows, and it works totally fine, and it looks cool because yes, this blue camo, I liked it. So yeah, controller, mouse, it's time I show you guys how it looks like when I'm playing The World Ends With You.
back to the moon. Back to the facts, take a bow to the moon.
Morning rays, yes we please. Get on to the way to the next, the west. Honest, they won't set a dream. Rebels of society, show of the unity. Going at the spin, let the sound flows. Fall to the hill, dragged by the power of a dream. That power is yet unknown. Morning rays, yes we please. Get on the way to the next, the west. Honest, they won't set a dream. Rebels of society, show of the unity. Cool at the spin, the sound flows. Low to the home, dragged by the power of dreams. That power is yet unknown.
So for the second setup, I'm gonna show you guys what my setup looks like when I'm playing a rhythm game. For example, I'm playing a game like MUSE, a taiko-based game where I tried it last time and it was pretty damn fun. And this is how my setup looks like. A lot of things to cover, but pretty simple. Basically, I turn my lights on and then this thing is off because obviously I don't need my face to be shined on because my webcam is actually not on my face and it's on the main show. That's right, the keyboard. And to do that, I have my webcam on tripod mode and I also have my ring light here. Both of them are using the lowest light setting, and that is to just have enough light to shine my keyboard right here. So it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna sit right here and then I'm gonna put my headset and I'm gonna be playing MUSE with these controls. Again, it's just gonna show my keyboard and that's that. Pretty simple, nothing much to say. Let's move on and let's see how this setup looks like in action. So we already talked about the MUSE setup, which the webcam is focused on the keyboard. And we also talk about the WhatsApp with you, which the webcam is focused to me with some different lighting positioning and stuff like that. Now, we're gonna talk about mobile setup, especially for ARCAEA, because I know you guys watch ARCAEA on my channel a lot, and this is why I want to show you guys how my setup looks like. Now, basically, it's a lot different to those two other setup, and you can see it right over here. This crazy setup, and you notice that the lights are off because yes, it's all about the lighting and it has a huge effect. But first, let me talk about the webcam placement. So I already talked about the webcam. I basically put the webcam over here and then it goes directly down here. This is my playing field where I basically put my phone and I do stuff. And you can see from there, that's how the camera looks like. Now, how do I manage to attach this? Well, as you can see here, I'm using the boom arm. Now, this boom arm was previously used by my mic right here, but this time I disconnect my mic to make it using a tripod, and I move the positioning from here to here, attach this, and then I attach my webcam. But I also have some unique attachment using this mini ball head right here, but also I'm using this thing right here. It's not integrated with this. This is actually a separate thing, which is a 3x8 female to 1x4 male screw converter, because this ball head doesn't connect here by default, so I need to buy a converter. So these are two things, and then this connects to here, and now it works. Now, the advantages of having your webcam here rather than having it on a tripod. Obviously, vibration's not gonna be an issue. You can vibrate all you want here on the table, which, trust me, there's a lot of vibration here. And this thing is not gonna be affected because there's a disconnect here, so the vibrations should not go here. And so this stays stable. The only problem is, if I shake my table here, then obviously it's gonna look shaky here still. But minimalizing it. And I can adjust the height however I want. Honestly, a very good idea if you guys ever want to try recording mobile stuff directly through a camera. So, another thing is where I put my mic, in which I put it upside down because, for example, let's say I sit here and I was playing ARCAEA. I'm gonna talk over here, looking down here, so my voice is gonna go directly here. Well, to be more accurate, here. But it's gonna bounce to exactly here. That's why I put it here rather than having it upwards. So it captures my voice better. Now, of course, there are some other peripherals. For example, how do I connect the audio from my phone to my laptop to my OBS right here, my Streamlabs? It has actually a good amount of contraption, which basically involves, let me just open this thing right here. First of all, you're gonna use a deck. Now, this is not the deck that I use another deck, but right now it's being used to record this video, which is currently connected to my lavalier mic right here, Boya M2 Pro, pretty cool mic. Now, it connects to this deck into this cable right here, which is actually a splitter. But these works the same thing. Basically, it's transfer audio to two things. First of all, is my beautiful IEM, the Moondrop 2. Shout out to Crinical for recommending me this cool channel, by the way. You should definitely check it out. And this is more of a budget IEM, but it's really good in terms of tonality because of how neutral it sounds like. So if you want to listen to some jazz songs or whatever, it stays neutral, and it's a really good IEM for a price like this. Obviously, if you compare it to something more expensive, it's not gonna be that good. But hey, as someone who just dived into the audiophile world, I'm satisfied with this. This is what I use for ARCAEA. Now, this thing, there's another one which is other than the IEM that I connected to. This audio connects exactly to my laptop right here, which is connected to a mic in, and the mic in, after that, it goes to here where I use audio input capture, and then you can see it right here, audio input capture. That's what it captures on, and it captures on the mic. Right now, it's just the mic isn't on there, but hey, when it's on, it's on. And the last thing that I want to show you is the ring light. So you see this ring light right here? Now, if you already watch the stream, which you probably will after I show you this, I'm actually using a lamp before, in which I thought that the lamp is already cool, but I decided to buy a ring light because of one thing. First of all, it's closer. Second of all, it's less bright. Third of all, you notice this is a different color, right? So I have this thing right here where I can basically do this. I can change the color. White, neutral or natural, or warm, completely just yellow basically. And the best thing here, if you see on my camera, this is the normal one, which my hand looks pretty pale. This is the neutral one, which my hand looks closer to real life. And this is yellow, which my hands looks yellow, which is not exactly really good. That's why I set it to here. This is a color that I use on my ARCAEA streams from now on, and I think that is pretty effective. What do you guys think though? I mean, different preferences, right? And last but not least, my phone that's using the once recording, Samsung S20 FE. A really good phone in general. There's nothing that can go wrong. It's cheap, relatively cheap, and it comes with a lot of good specs. And that's what I use to play ARCAEA. Very cool. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to tell you guys about one thing. You see right here? This is an anti-slip mat, which, hey, if you want to play rhythm game, you gotta need one of these, an anti-slip mat. So whenever you do some intense gestures or whatever, it's not gonna move your phone, or at least minimize the chance of it moving, because things happens and sometimes I moved it too hard to the point that it actually moves. So hey, anti-slip mat, very important. Now that I already show you all the setup, time to see this setup in action. So let's get right into it. And that's the end of the setup tour. So what do you guys think of my setup? Let me know in the comments. Now this is my first time doing something like this, you know, a whole setup tour vlog-ish kind of thing. And honestly, there's a lot of room for improvement. Honestly, there's a lot of improvising and things like that. And honestly, I feel like it could be better. But hey, that's the first in everything, and I'll try to do better in the future. Feedbacks are always appreciated. So, you know, let me know if there's anything to improve. And yeah, thank you all so much again for the 500 sub. I appreciate every single one of you guys that support me, and really, there's gonna be more to come. But until then, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye and have a great day.